Hydra The Revenge is a Bollinger and Mabillard floorless roller coaster located at Dorney Park in Wildwater Kingdom in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It opened in 2005, stands 95 feet tall, has nearly 3,200 feet of track, reaches a top speed of 53 miles per hour, and has 7 inversions. This coaster has some of the most bizarre profiling for its inversions of any roller coaster. That said, Hydra The Revenge is a good ride. This is our full-length, in-depth review of Hydra The Revenge and our comments about what you can expect when you go to Dorney Park to ride this coaster. Now, let's get into the review. Hydra The Revenge is located right behind Whitewater Landing, Dorney Park's Chutes water ride. It currently occupies part of the land that the park's former thin wooden roller coaster Hercules used to sit. The quickest way to get to Hydra The Revenge is to walk through Dorney Park's main entrance pathways and past Whitewater Landing. Because Dorney Park is a terrain park, staying atop the hill is the easier way to get to Hydra. When you approach the ride, you will see a mess of bright green twisted track, the station building, and a large marquee displaying the ride name and logo. If you are unfamiliar with Greek mythology, the ride name comes from the Greek demigod Hercules' battle with the Hydra. As you enter the ride queue, you will walk in between some of the ride's elements as you make your way to the station. Once in the station, you will see one of Hydra's 2 8-row, 32-passenger floorless trains. And these trains have the typical Bollinger and Mabillard over-the-shoulder restraints. And that's about all you will see in the station, as there is no theming whatsoever. Once you have boarded your train, secured your over-the-shoulder restraints, and cleared dispatch, you proceed forward directly into the ride's layout to begin your ride. Before you even reach the lift hill, you exit the station and go right into Hydra's first inversion, a Jojo roll, or an inline twist. This Jojo roll delivers some great hang time because you go through this element at such a slow speed. This element was actually the very first of its kind and one of only 3 Jojo rolls in the world. You can find the others on Copperhead Strike at Carowinds and the Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland de Penn. After you go through the Jojo roll, you straighten right side up and take a right-hand banked turn onto the lift hill. At the top of the lift hill, you immediately start plummeting down Hydra's 105-foot first drop sloped at 68 degrees. And unlike the first drops on other Bollinger and Mabillard floorless coasters, Hydra does not have a pre-drop. Instead, Hydra opts to get right into things. If you are in the back row, you will experience some weak floater airtime as you go down this first drop. At the bottom of the first drop, you pull up into Hydra's second inversion, a dive loop. And this dive loop is so weirdly profiled that one could argue that this element feels more like an extremely overbanked turn instead of an inversion. Out of the dive loop, you fly through a fairly whippy 0G roll, followed by a corkscrew, which whips you towards the right down into the first half of Hydra's Cobra roll. And like the dive loop, Hydra's Cobra roll has the strangest profiling of any Cobra roll out there. The entry and exit to this element are so close together that the 2 sidewinder halves look almost cartoonish. As you come off the Cobra roll, you climb up into a twisted airtime hill, which banks slightly towards the right. You then fly over an airtime hill, which does give a slight pop of floater airtime coming off of it if you are in the back row. As you come off that airtime hill, you go through another corkscrew before entering a 360-degree left-hand banked helix, followed by a banked right-hand turn into the final brake run, thus completing your ride. Hydra The Revenge has some fun elements, particularly the Jojo roll and that whippy corkscrew before the Cobra roll. That said, Hydra does have a rattle to it. While the ride experience is not rough per se, Hydra is not glossy smooth. Nonetheless, this coaster is a fun ride. The Jojo roll delivers some of the best hang time on any Bollinger and Mabillard roller coaster, and the first drop is actually quite good. These 2 elements are probably the best elements on the ride. The rest of the layout is good, though it's one of the weaker floorless coasters out there. While it is one of the weaker floorless coasters out there, Hydra still pulls some decent G-forces, especially in the valleys in between the inversions. This coaster was Dorney Park's last new original roller coaster before Iron Menace opened in 2024, and it is a good one for what it is. Hydra packs in a lot in its nearly 3,200 feet worth of track, floater airtime, some good positive G-forces, hang time, and a couple of whippy inversions. And aside from the ride experience, Hydra has one of the coolest locations in the park. This coaster does a great job interacting with the terrain. Its first drop is larger than its height, and those dives into the Cobra roll and second corkscrew are awesome. Hydra's location in the former Hercules plot of land next to the water offers some awesome visuals as well, especially since Hydra is right next to Steel Force's helix. it is particularly cool to see a couple of dueling rides with Steel Force and Dorney Park's flume ride, Thunder Creek Mountain. Overall, Hydra The Revenge is an enjoyable and fun roller coaster. While it may be an average B&M Floorless coaster, Hydra has some standout moments, making it worth the ride when you go to Dorney Park. Some of the quirky profiling on the inversions really does make this ride look like a Hydra, with its many heads going in every which direction. For our final score, we give Hydra The Revenge a 7.5 out of 10. It is definitely one of Dorney Park's better coasters and a good supporting coaster in the park's coaster lineup. So, let us know in the comments below if you have ridden Hydra The Revenge at Dorney Park, and if so, what you think about it. And if you enjoyed this video or are new to the channel, please like and subscribe for more coaster content like this. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more coaster reviews and amusement park content coming soon to Coaster Adventures, and we hope to see you in the next one.